Oh, great. How are you? Happy New Year. Happy a lot of years.
Happy lockdown, more like it if you coming from South Africa.
Yeah, I heard it has been crazy.
It has. It's a crazy time we're living in at the moment. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Um, but we're still it's been tough for music, been tough for artists, been tough for live.
Mm,
And I can't wait for next steps. I mean, through it all, some great things are still happening, which
yeah.
I think is really remarkable. I think our industry is just like the most resilient.
I think I think it has been evolving. Just seeing like how like it has been like I was in the O2 seeing Whiskey close like the night back to back, and I remember having a conversation with him about like 10 years ago, and when he was like, "This is what I want to do." So for me, it was like surreal. Like this guy had a goal, and this is where he is. Achieving that goal for me was magical. And then seeing that happening like right before like the COVID, I think they might
Mm.
England might be on lockdown soon, and just seeing everything happen, the timing was perfect. Everything is just amazing.
It is amazing. I mean, for the us just watching, from far, watching online, streaming it, that moment it was for Wizkid and Wizkid's team, who I mean have done an amazing work. But
Oh yeah,
I think it resonated with all of us. It was, we got into this business sometimes, in my case, a decade ago, where the industry was so small, and they were, this was a dream. It was really
yeah,
sort of a far-fetched kind of notion at the time, and I look at that O2 show as like a major point of inspiration for African artists, like across the board. And for me, even as agencies, for independent record labels, for small management agencies, this is like, a major moment for
epic.
African music. Yeah.
I do agree. Like so for me, I started this. I managed MI. I don't know if you know MI, the rapper.
Yeah.
I managed him for about 12 years. Then
Yeah.
before I took over this role, before taking this role, I started an agency with Chocolatity. And what we do, we manage like entertainment assets for big companies. So we have companies like
Mm.
Pernod Ricard, Nigeria Brews, a lot of other companies. So we do like all the activation that has to do with entertainment. So for us, like the strategy has always been like, let's take entertainment to this hub where these people consume your product and let's
Mm.
entertain them. In the
Mm.
process, we sell music. So we've been doing that. We've been selling music, selling brands for a long time. So for me, it's interesting and just in the transition. And in Nigeria, everybody wants to party, regardless of lockdown or no lockdown.
Yeah.
So
The thing
it's
is,
been crazy.
despite lockdown, music is a healing force.
Yeah,
And you can see that with how, if you look at, just the way that people had to consume content over lockdown in all the countries, they had to have music.
yeah,
It was a part of keeping us all going, not just because we work in it, but just everybody had to
yeah.
find something. And I think, man, it's a coming of age, I think, for African music. It's the most exciting
Oh yeah,
time to work in music right now.
yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy to see it pave the way for a lot of things. And I feel like sometimes we talk about the music alone, we just don't see the whole ecosystem involved.
Yeah.
Like even down to like this is how I think about music in this generation. We're all content creators because at the end of the day, we're all fighting for top of mind. So if you are doing skit on Instagram, if you're doing music, if whatever you're doing, you're all fighting for top of mind. But like when you think about Whiskey show, every day was 20,000 people. You don't think about the ecosystem. You think about the guys doing the videographers, the guys shooting, the guys doing the content direction, the guys doing the lighting, the guys doing the sound. Because think about the sound alone, you need at least 50 people. You have the back line, then you have the front house. You break that finish, they come to the production side, you have the crew, you have the creative direction. So it's a whole industry. So you just look at that alone, but there's an ecosystem of at least 200 people working.
Oh
And then
yeah.
look at the payroll. Like it's crazy. So for me,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good thing. And like to be fair, people like South Africans, you people have been doing like in a massive scale. Like I remember when MTV launched in Nigeria, then MTV started doing Mamas. Like that, they came to Nigeria with a level of production that
I
Nigerians
was
were not.
there.
Oh, you were Mama. So I remember like, I was having a conversation. I remember, um, rest in peace, the WHP. He's a close friend. I remember Faku, I remember like him performing at like the MTV launch
Yeah.
in Nigeria. Like I think it's Spice Route. It was amazing. And like for me, so then I started working with MI. So like just seeing that evolve to where we are now. And then for Nigeria, it was crazy. It's been crazy just thinking about even down to even hip hop, the genre that I worked with. Like MI for the longest time. Like we got to a point where you have like the top headliners for shows where all hip hop artists. You go for a show and the headliners was MI, Fino, or Lamide.
Yeah.
So I've just seen the transition and it's been crazy and amazing.
Yeah. I think we've had a front seat to see like all of the steps that have led us to like this moment right now.
Oh yeah.
And I think anybody coming into the industry now is going to benefit from those steps because I think there's a lot of heavy lifting, to be honest, that has already been done. You know, and we started this, I started, I guess, what, 10, 11 years ago. And we were building our business, building artists at the same time as we were building the infrastructure around us. You know, there was limited scope, limited deals for major labels and licensing for local content, for South African content. There wasn't as much flexibility or negotiating power from artists with those labels, not like what we're seeing now. If you just think about all the distributors that have launched, the focus of the digital stores like Apple and Spotify on music from African artists, there have been so many cool developments over the last, like, I guess, 4 or 5 years that have really set things up nicely for artists in Africa and for the teams that they're going to need. Like you said, it's diverse. It's like, you know, there's like 200 different roles in this industry, from the sound engineer to the choreographer, to the videographer, the photographer, to everything, the stylist. Our industry employs, you know, so many different roles, and there's opportunities for young people to take up that space.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you know, like when you talk about the music, talking about like the evolution of music for Nigeria is a crazy in the sense that. So let me explain it to you. So for us, before it was the Alaba guys, and Alaba is an industry which is just young traders who they want to make money. And how they make money, they put like different songs together on the mix. When compound discs was a huge thing, then they make that and they share it, and then people buy like 200 naira. And then that was the ecosystem before us monetizing and making money off the music. Then that Alaba finished. Then we had the age of the flash drive, where now we're not even getting with Alaba. They could pay 5 million, which with the current exchange rate, like it's $5,000, which is I think about 10,000 rands. That's what they pay for an album, averagely, for a great album. So they give you that for 3 years. So you have to sign a deal. You won't drop another album for 2 years, 2 to 3 years. So that was what used to happen. Then that system crashed because flash drive came out. And flash drive, like you go to Computer Village, and with a flash drive, they give you 200 songs on the flash drives. So people stop now. People start buying car stereos that have flash drive. So that's what they were doing. So after that, then the memory card era came, where people now we started losing revenue from even the Alaba we're getting. Then what we started doing, we started giving the music for free because you want the music to be popular in street. So you give people in Computer Village for free. So that way you can monetize off live shows because most of the deals we give are 360 deals. Then that era came out. After that era finished, then there came the era of the Boomplay, the MTM Music Plus, and the callback tunes. So the first people that rushed into, they were making a lot of money. Because what they did was they picked selected people, pushed their songs, and with those MTN Music Plus, that's when you had like I think there was a song with the video and Mafiki Zolo that was exclusive with them for a long time. So those people had the first mover advantage. Then we've moved now, we're in the era of like the guys, the DSPs. And after the DSPs now get your music, they tell you to try to monetize on every platform. And now we're in the era where the platforms are coming. So Spotify just launched in Nigeria, Apple Music has been there. So I feel like there's been an evolution that keep on happening. And all this keep on happening. The way people consume the content has changed, but one thing that's constant, that the content is still there. So for me now, it's like regardless how people consume music, the next 4 or 5 years, it might change. The way we consume music might change, but the content is still one thing that remains and is consistent.
Yeah. And it just keeps getting better and better, if you ask me, in terms of the kind of records that we're seeing coming out. from artists, from surprises, developing acts, from the established giants. It's amazing. I'm not sure if we have introduced ourselves.
Oh, where's Aboma?
Do you want to go? Maybe just
okay, maybe just go. Go. Let you go first.
So hi everybody that's tuned in. I'm sorry we got carried away on our conversation immediately, but it's because there's so much happening in music in Africa right now, and we haven't had a chance to connect and discuss it properly ourselves. But my name is Ninel Musson. I'm the co-founder of a creative entertainment agency called The Fifth Season. We operate as an independent record label and a talent management agency. We've been going for more than a decade. Our first artist that we worked with was AKA, and the most current artists that we're working with include the likes of Ami Faku, who's the best female artist in South Africa at the moment, Manu Worldstar, Benny Afro, Hlonipo. It's, all of those artists. I mean, we're based in South Africa. All of those artists are, I guess, continental in terms of their heritage, which influences the style of music. And so we're pretty agnostic to the genre of music that we work with. Our main focus is about developing African talent, creating plans and opportunities for them to make revenue and build a long, sustainable career in the industry, and to take it to the rest of the world, to create fan bases wherever we can together. And that sums it up. I got into the music industry a long time ago. I didn't come from music. I came from just a general business background, I suppose you could say. Actually finance, and I found myself with an interest in the space, and just having a lot of friends around me that were either aspiring artists or DJs, and we used to do a lot of events. And when we did those events, we realized that, just like you were speaking about brands that want to work in the music space, and we realized that they had such big marketing teams. They had a whole army of people that were doing activations and channel marketing and brand strategy. And, the artists didn't have that big professional team around them. And we felt as if there's no reason why they shouldn't. And so we started building a management business here, which at the time was pushing back from the way people wanted to do things. Promoters and venues didn't want to deal with your manager. They wanted to give you a call directly and get a better price, and not set things up properly. And so